Hi everyone, I'll teach you the basic of Maya if you want to switch from Blender. Let's start. The camera will be unusual, but you get used to it. The side panel is the same as the Blender. When you hold the spacebar, there is quick menu. And if you hold the right mouse button, you can change the perspective. Create menu is equivalent to add menu in Blender. Here you can edit modifiers and properties of the objects. Here is the outliner. In the edit menu you can create groups. And here are the scene editing and rendering. And not forget the set menu, where each menu has a different toolbar. So let's add plane and remove subdivision first. When you need to go into edit mode, just hold down the right mouse button and select mode. For extrude, hold shift instead of E. For bevel, hold shift and right mouse button and select bevel. And edit values in attribute editor. Subdivision is in the same menu named smooth. And when you want to put the shade smooth, it's at the top in mesh display. Loop cut is again in this menu as insert edge loop tool. Right click to select different select modes, and it is the same as in Blender. You can put fill hole when you want to fill this. And if you want to connect central edge, just insert a bridge. Here you can connect vertices. And here you can separate the faces. And smooth the changes with soften edge again. Here you can open mirror menu and select axis or object depending how you want to mirror. Adding curves is also simple. Right click again to change edit mode. Now we can add a curve modifier to the plane. Select edge and shift and left click to select the curve. And add the extrude. Now, how to make Boolean? Select two objects and shift with right button and Boolean, depending on how we want. And we can simply fix the mistakes that have been made here. A duplicate special is basically an array. So we set the length and number of copies. You can also combine two objects easily. Now we need set origin for the object, its center pivot. Applying transformation is freeze transformation. So now we'll add a simple rig. Switch to rigging and add a circle curve. To put it exactly in the center, we need to turn on the wireframe and hold V. Now just mark the circle and the wheel and put the parent. And now the armature rig. So let's add bone. And turn on the snap to grid to make it straight. And create the bones here. Now create EK handle. Select all parts and connect via bind skin. To work with materials, open Hypershade. Insert standard surface here and create new material. Mark the object and assign the material to it. And open the shader editor. And here it is the same as in Blender. Enable textures in the viewport here. Open the editor attribute and in geometry add bump. Put the displacement texture here and you can adjust the intensity. First open the Hypershade. And we can select object with the same material. Now you can open the UV editor. And here are the UV mapping options. Select the UV shell, mark everything, and put layout to organize it. To mark seam, mark edge and edit with cut and seam and other. Here you can then create unwrap. It is important not forget the UV set. You need all objects to have the same UV set. So open a render view, add mesh light, open attribute editor again and insert file into the car. If you want to remove the background and leave just the light, here it is. Okay, now let's add a camera. Go to the camera view. And here is the classic camera setting. We can add a depth of field. Show details of the object to see the distance. And insert it into the distance. Switch mode to animation. Let's set the keyframe. Here you can set the animation lag. Let's switch back to the camera and move. And on the other frame, we put the set key again. To remove key, right-click on specific frame and delete. And here you can remove all keys. Now let's open the render settings. The format is set here. The naming format can also be modified here. The main camera is set up here. And custom resolution are filled in here. Here you can also change it to render via GPU, is the denoise. Click here to view the preview. And now we change the set menu to render and open the render sequence. Make sure the right camera is there and get the file location and click on render.